The Lost Generation. The Lost Generation, term coined by Gertrude Stein to describe those who fought in World War I, defined as the cohort born between 1883 and 1900 who came of age during World War I and the Roaring Twenties. About 20 million people died, and another 20 million were wounded during World War I. Many young people born in the late 1800s were heavily impacted, with a large number serving in the military and suffering casualties. Survivors of the war often experienced deep physical or emotional wounds. The Greatest Generation. The Greatest Generation, also known as the World War II generation, typically defined as people born between 1901 and 1927. Shaped by the Great Depression and were the primary generation enlisted in World War II. Most of the Greatest Generation are the parents of the Silent Generation and baby boomers and the children of the Lost Generation. The term Greatest Generation was popularized by U.S. Army General James Van Fleet in 1953 after his service in World War II and the Korean War. As of 2024, fewer than 1% of the 16 million Americans who served in World War II remain alive. The Silent Generation. The Silent Generation, also known as the Traditionalist Generation, defined as people born between 1928 and 1945. The Great Depression and World War II caused fewer children to be born, resulting in a smaller cohort. Includes most of those who fought in the Korean War, characterized by conformity and traditionalism, but also formed the leadership of the Civil Rights Movement and the 1960s counterculture, created the rock and roll music of the 1950s and 1960s. Baby Boomers. Baby Boomers, often shortened to Boomers, defined as people born between 1946 and 1964 during the post-World War II baby boom, experienced significant educational reforms during the Cold War. Their youth in the 1950s and 1960s was marked by economic prosperity and rapid technological progress. This large cohort contributed to social movements like the counterculture of the 1960s and its backlash. Generation X. Generation X, often shortened to Gen X, defined as people born between 1965 and 1980. Sometimes called the latchkey generation due to the rise of dual-income families, increasing divorce rates, and children coming home to empty houses. Millennials. Millennials, often shortened to Gen Y, defined as people born between 1981 and 1996. The first generation to grow up with the internet, mobile devices, and social media. Known as digital natives and the first global generation. Often referred to as the unluckiest generation due to slower economic growth, student debt, and child care costs. Weighed down by financial burdens since entering the workforce. Generation Z. Generation Z, colloquially known as Zoomers, defined as people born between the mid to late 1990s and the early 2010s. First generation to grow up with digital technology and the internet from a young age. They live more cautiously compared to previous generations, with lower rates of teenage pregnancies and alcohol consumption. They are more concerned with academic performance and job prospects and excel at delaying gratification. Generation Alpha, defined as those born from the early 2010s to the mid to late 2020s. First generation to be born entirely in the 21st century and the third millennium. Typically the children of millennials and some older Generation Z members. Growing up with a significant reliance on electronic technology, social networks, and streaming services. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted their early childhood experiences. Studies suggest that Generation Alpha faces increased health issues related to screen time, allergies, and obesity.